Today we're going to make paper roses, and before we get started, you're going to want to gather the following supplies. You're going to need some scissors, some glue, so whether that's craft glue or hot glue, your preference, an X-Acto knife, a paintbrush, and some pipe cleaners or a straw for a stem. As you can see in the example, I used a pipe cleaner. The first thing you want to do is grab an old book that you're no longer using, that you don't mind parting with, because we're actually going to cut out 4 pages out of this book. So using either an X-Acto knife or scissors, carefully cut out 4 pages. Okay, just set the book aside. So you should have 4 pages now for your flowers. So the first thing you're going to do is make a square. So for that, you're going to fold the one side over to the edge of the paper and just make a fold. And then you're going to cut that extra rectangle off the page. And that's going to give you a perfect square. So from there, what you want to do is 3 folds. So this is our first fold, and we're going to take that corner and bring it to the other corner, our second fold, and we'll do that one more time to fold into 3. And now we're going to cut our petal, so just do a nice round cut at the top of this page. You want to make sure that you're cutting where all of the paper is gathered at the bottom and on the edge where the fold is. So you can start in the corner there and just a little half circle around the top. And that should open up into a heart and into a flower shape. We also want to include a little cut in the middle as well. So I'm going to fold that back up one more time and just cut a small center cut in the middle. So now you have the base of your flower. We're going to do that 3 more times with our other pieces of paper, because you're going to need 4 of these to make one flower. Prepare our flower petals. So from each of these flowers, we're going to cut a couple of petals off. From your first flower, you're going to cut just 1 petal. On the second flower, you're going to cut 2 petals. On the third flower, you're going to cut 3 petals. And then on your fourth flower, we're going to cut 4 petals. And now we're just going to organize the petals. So we'll just do it in numbers. We have 1, 2, 3. You'll have 2 with 4, but we only need 1 of them, so 4. You can toss the second one aside. 5 petals, 6, and 7. Now that your flower petals are organized, we're going to start assembling them with the largest flower first. And what we're going to do is just add some glue to the last petal and then glue them together. So I'm going to use hot glue. If you're opting for hot glue, be careful. Obviously it's hot glue. You don't want to burn yourself. So just apply a little bit of glue to that final petal there and bring the other petal to it, pressing together to make a bond. And that's going to be the base of your flower. So we're going to do this for all of the petals, and they get trickier as they get smaller, but the bigger pieces are quite easy to assemble. So again, apply some glue Bring your petal to the other side. And just continue on until you've completed all of your petals. You might want to use a pen or a paintbrush to help wrap around petals. I'm just using the end of a paintbrush here. And we have the final one. This one's a bit tricky. I like to curl it first before I apply the glue, as such. And then give it a dab of glue and wrap the petal around. Okay. So all of our petals are now glued and we're ready to assemble them into our rose. So starting with the bottom part, we're going to apply a bit of glue to the bottom and then take the next set of petals and just simply glue them in. And try if you can to stagger the petals in between the gaps of the others. Just hold it for a moment until those two pieces of paper become stuck. And then we'll repeat the process with our remaining petals. There. So that is your completed flower. Well, almost complete. We can make it a little bit fancier. So what you want to do is just kind of clean up some of those glue pieces that got stuck. And then the last piece, I mean, you can leave your flower like this if you like it this way, or if you want to make it a little bit more realistic, we can curl the petals. So using a paintbrush or a pen, whatever you have handy, we're just going to wrap the edges of the paper over and create a small curl on each of the petals to give it a more realistic flower look. So go ahead and repeat this process on all of the petals. There you have it. So now your book flower is complete. If you want, you can add a stem. I like to use a pipe cleaner. I just simply tie a knot in the top and kind of tuck in that extra piece. I only had white pipe cleaner, but you could use any color. I'm sure green would look really good if you wanted a realistic looking stem. And then just place the pipe cleaner in through your flower till you can feel it on the opposite end and pull it through and get that piece into the middle of the flower. There you have it. And you can kind of fold that up and you have a perfectly pretty book flower.